Good morning. This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and today is Tuesday, June 14th, Wednesday. I had to think. My week is going so fast. Welcome to my desk. I'm just going to be on for a little bit this morning. I had to go to town yesterday, and I did a haul and a little thrift haul. And I want to show you where I am on my doll pattern. And I might even do a little bit of tatting. I don't know. I had this out from the other day, so I just put it out here. So welcome to my desk. Hi, Mina. Hi, Arlene. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, early birds. All right, let me get over here to my YouTube channel so that I can welcome folks as they come in. Dee Dee Willingham comes on at 7:30 my time, 8:30 her time. So I'll just be going for about an hour and a half this morning. So, yeah. Hauls and dolls. Let me get into my live chat and fix my quality. I have to do all of this when I get online. Mina's here and Nashwa. Hi, Nashwa. And Arlene. And let me fix the quality on my video. It's at 480. We want it at least up to 720 or, yeah, there we go. Good morning. Hi, Melody. Good morning, Melody. Good morning. I'll put my tatting over here and Penelope up above here. And this is the tatting pattern. Grab a needle here, a pin. Well, let's grab one that's, because I'll show you where I am on this doll. I'm not going to stitch it up until I watch Becky this afternoon to see what she does. Let's see, where is she? She's right here. I sat and basted her together yesterday after the stream. Put my needle there. And so the only thing I have separate on here are the arms. And I want to see what Becky does with the arms. I left a spot in here to stuff her with. And I will take this out in the, where my sewing machine is and stitch it up. But I want to see how Becky handles the arms. She said something about buttons and I can't remember exactly. She might have already. I didn't get the entire part 1 video done. I watched until she was doing the feet, I think. And this is not going to go through all of them. Let me put a pin in here. So that's where I am on my rag doll. Now, today is Wednesday. So Becky will be doing part 2 of her ragdoll video, unless she has a change. She always posts if there's a change, but at high noon Eastern, so it'd be 11 Central. So I'm going to try to be there. I have to go out and work in the garden this morning, but. All right, let's talk about the hauls. Let's welcome folks in. Let me refresh my chat. My chat does not refresh itself. I don't know why. Probably because I need to refresh my browser. Oh, I guess I said good morning to everybody. Good morning to folks that are up in the balcony and folks that are watching the replay. I'm glad to have you join us. So I went to town yesterday and I watched the local Facebook marketplace where I can just pick up things, and I found a lady that was selling well, she called them a lot of Nancy Drew books, but it really only had one Nancy Drew book. The others are The Mystery of Cabin Island. This is a Hardy Boy book. The Bobbsey Twin book, and another Bobbsey Twin book. So, and then I have a receipt from Menards that I've got to send in the rebate on. So there we go. So what I'm going to do here, actually, I started reading this when I went to, we have a local eatery place that's local to Nebraska. I doubt if you guys have it. It's called the Runza, and I like their onion rings. And sometimes when I just want a little outing, I'll go and get a Dr. Pepper and a package of onion rings and sit there in my car and read whatever I get. And I started reading this Nancy Drew book. Now, very interesting history of Nancy Drew, where it comes from. It's written under a pen name, a pseudonym of Carolyn Keeney. But the author, the real person that wrote it, was Mildred Wirt Benson, I believe. And she wrote for a publishing company. And she only got $125 for writing this book. This is the only one. And I find it very interesting because I'm sure I read Nancy Drew when I was younger. I'm sure. Hi, Raul. Good morning, Raul. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure that I read Nancy Drew mysteries when I was younger. It's recommended for like the old junior high school kids, maybe 4th through 8th grade. But they're fun reading. They're little fun reading. And while I was reading it, I'm going, I wonder, I'm getting more, I want to get more involved in the books that I'm reading. And a book like this, I got it, of course, for art journaling, but the way I'm going to art journal it, I looked Wiki up on Wiki and I found a picture of Mildred, who wrote this book originally, and I found a picture of the publisher, the man, and I don't want to give his name because I'm sure I'll butcher it. So, but I'm going to draw pictures of them in there, and then I've read the first 28 pages, and even though the town where Nancy Drew, the fictional town where Nancy Drew is located, is in River Heights, Illinois, but this book takes place in Maine, and Nancy Drew and her 2 companions are traveling to Maine to stay with this lady who runs a tea shop of all things. So I kind of got Laura Childs and Nancy Drew in their tea rooms. Tea is the theme for the summer, I think. But what I thought I would do is I did a wiki on the Nancy Drew books, and this town that they're traveling to, that they said that it's probably modeled after a town in Maine. And it talks about fishing villages and that. And I thought I would try to find pictures of Maine and the Maine coast and that, and kind of find spots in here to where I can put it. So I want to kind of alter it that way rather than tearing the book apart. So I'm having fun. I'm only on page 28, but there's a lot of information in here that would make good illustrations. And then speaking of illustrations, I don't see the name of the illustrator here. I looked for that and it doesn't document who drew that. And that's the only illustration in this book. But I get a picture in my head of what Nancy Drew might look like. And I'm assuming this is her friend George. And she's got George's cousin is Bess. So I'm going to be doing a lot more with Nancy Drew. I showed you the doll, and what I'm going to do for the doll's hair is I'll probably on the face, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the face yet, but I'll probably put a little light pink or something on there, and I'm going to make the doll's hair white. This is white, kind of an off-white. So I'm going to be cutting these into smaller strips, tearing them, and they ravel, so that'll be good for hair. So that's why that is out. Now, the rest of the haul, I showed you the books, and I'll probably do similar to the other two books, the other three books, the Bobbsey Twins and that. I could not resist going to the thrift store, and Arlene left a link to Aunt Beck's channel. Aunt Beck is going to be doing her part 2 of her ragdoll video at noon today, at noon her time, noon Eastern. Mina says, she says she's drinking something right now. What are you drinking, Mina? Tea. Tea never goes amiss, Mina says. She's drinking tea. She's drinking some right now. My friend calls tea dirty water, Arlene says. That silly heart everyone fussed about showed up in my chat last night. Really? It's super annoying. Are you talking about that little heart emoticon? Yeah, down at the right. Yeah. YouTube trying to emulate what what was that channel? Ustream used to have those. Okay, I went to the thrift store and I found some things. The first thing I'm going to show you is, lo and behold, here's a doll pattern for, and he's all there, I think. I think everything's in there for the Tin Man on The Wizard of Oz. So if I get my other doll made, I might make the Tin Man too. Cost me $1.50. I thought, oh yeah, another doll. And what do you think this bundle of fabric cost me? Look, it's a whole bundle. Most of it is upholstery fabric. Well, I'll tell you, it only cost me $1. It only cost me $1. So this will be good for altered art. And then I just got a few other things. I found a little yarn here, just a little 50-cent piece of probably, well, it's called Jubilee Celebration Yarn. It's an off-brand. Then I got this little book. This little book only cost me $1. Take off the... And usually you'll see these little books for $5 or $6, sometimes more, depending on what store you're shopping in. I wish they wouldn't put tape on this. I'll deal with that later. But it opens up here someplace, and it's just a little notebook for $1. I'll use it. And I got, this is fun. I was thinking that I would, and they got, no, it's just a little memo pad stamp. It's got the word date up there, but I was thinking it might be fun to make a little diary type thing, little thoughts. And I think I could go in and stamp this on these pages. And then I bought another little stamp, Celebrate, hero stamp, Celebrate. I probably have that. Probably an extra. But what I really got, and I'll see if Becky's notices. I always say, Becky, you find the neatest yarns. You find the neat yarns, Becky. Oh, and she does. Now, what I have is not a yarn like Becky would find, but when I go to the thrift store, usually what I find is things like this. I think there's a lot of people in our area that look for yarns. Let me put these back in this little holder here. And I'll tell you what my real treasure was yesterday. I still have the garden plot out by the corner to clean up, and here it is, the middle of June, and I haven't got that done yet. But I went to Menards thinking that Menards is where I get most of my plants. And I thought, well, maybe there's some on sale. And when I went there, they were cleaning out the whole garden area. My camera's crooked. They were cleaning out the entire garden area. I wanted marigolds. I couldn't find any marigolds. But there was begonias, and they sell their annuals. Their regular price for Menards annual little 6-pack is $2.99, which is about $3. And that's what I was expecting. I would have to, if I got a tray of 6, they sell them in trays too, and you have a 6, you have 36 plants. And that runs at $3 a 6-pack is $18. And by the time you pay tax, it's close to $20. But they had prices on the other annuals, but they didn't have prices on the begonias, and I couldn't see what the price were. So I went and got a clerk, and I said, I really want some of these, but there's no price on them. Are they the same as the others? And she was over in the other area, and she didn't really want to come to help me. And I said, well, I don't want to drag them all up to the cash register. And she yelled at her teammate, do you have one of those little scanners? No, I didn't bring mine. So she dropped what she was doing and walked over there and started examining the packages. And the little trays, the little 6-packs are only 50 cents. So what I normally would have paid $2.99 times 6 would be 18. By the time you add tax, probably about $19 and some change. And I got them for $3. So if I would have paid $19 for a 6-pack, and I bought 4, that would have been close to $50 4 times 19 would be $57, I think. And I got them for $3 a tray. I paid just a little over $12, which would have normally cost me $57. I was delighted. I thought, man, I hit the right sale, and I'm going to put them out underneath my walnut tree. Menards is wonderful. I could spend hours dreaming of projects and find surprising supplies. Yeah, I thought, man, I hit it at I just about didn't go yesterday. I had to make myself get dressed and go. I'm so lazy lately. So that was my treasure of yesterday, was getting those plants. Mina says, I love begonias, especially the fibrous rooted ones like angel wings. Mina says, there's also some begonia bulbs that do well in hanging baskets. Oh, I didn't know that. Hi, Jean Joy Art. Welcome, and thank you for joining us this morning. Kathy D's Creations. And there's Becky, says, me too, no tape. No tape. Everyone else, well, since Becky's here, I'll show you what I got. Looky! I found a kit. It's from Hirschner's. Now, this cost me $8, but I counted and the yarn is probably 4 ounce, maybe. And it's a size 2 yarn. See, it cost me, but there's $8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 18 smaller skeins. I haven't opened it yet to see exactly how many ounces is in a skein. I'm thinking about 4 ounces. It's acrylic. No, it's 2 ounce. And I don't know if I'm going to make this pattern or not, but I was delighted. I finally found some yarn that, you know, that it's in a kit. And it even has the yarn needle with it. Let's see what it says here. If I can. It's an intermediate. The finished size is blankety blank blank blank. The finished size of this Afghan is 44 by 60 inches. So 60 inches is 5 feet. 44 is, well, under 5 feet. Little, about 3.5 feet. Yards, I mean. 40, no. 12 times 3 is 36, so it'd be about 3.5 feet by 5 feet. But I don't know if I'm going to make this Afghan. But I was delighted. Oh, it's falling out. I was delighted to find some decent. So $8 at 18 smaller skeins. It's all falling out because I'm trying to put all this back in. 18 smaller skeins, 2-ounce skeins. But I think it's a size 2 too. Let me squeeze this all in here. My yarn's falling out on the floor. Somebody divide 18 into 80. I mean, into $8. Well, let's round it. Well, 18 into 80. 18 times 3 is 54. 18 times 4 is what, 72? 4 times 8 is 32. You carry the 3, 72. So maybe about 70 cents, I'm thinking. A little over 70, 75 cents a skein. I'm thinking. Look, I didn't get that straight. And I'll use it for something. I'm not sure I'm going to do the Afghan. I like larger Afghans. But I never find the neat yarns that Becky finds. Like she finds Karen and all this really neat yarn. Either the people in our area don't buy it or somebody snatches it up. Oh, I was going to see. It has two, it says 2 fine. So I think this is a size 2. There's 220 yards in it. The yarn's made in China. It's acrylic yarn, but it's soft. We'll see what I make out of it. But that was my other treasure of the day, my haul. And Becky, I don't know if you were in here when I showed you where I am on my rag doll. Becky, if you want to put information in for your part 1 and part 2, if you have that saved, you're sure welcome to. Here's where I am on my rag doll. I basted it all together. And I'm going to wait and watch and see how you attach the arms. I don't know if you've attached them yet or not. You might have attached it already. But I basted everything together and I left a big open spot here. I think I can stuff the legs down here. The trick is going to be turning it, but I'm not going to turn it. And then I left the spaces between in the arms open in case I have to tuck the arms in there somehow after I stuff them. And they're just pinned on here like so. And I left plenty of space for them. And I'm not sure how I'm going to dress her yet. I'm not sure what kind of a genre. There's Arlene left a link to the doll part 1. Thank you, Arlene. And Becky is going to do part 2 today, right? At high noon Eastern time and 11 o'clock my time. So I want to come back to this. I want to sketch. Shall we sketch Mildred first? Because I was looking at Mildred. Oh, I was looking at the seashores. Because I'm going to sketch some of this. Let's see if I can find Mildred here fast. No, what state this? Mildred Benson. There she is. This is the lady who. This is the real lady, Mildred Benson, who wrote under the pen name, the pseudonym of Carolyn Keeney. And I laugh at Carolyn Keeney, that name, because my aunt on my dad's sister married a Keeney, Harold Keeney. They lived down in Oklahoma, and I thought I would sketch her. I could sketch her on a fly page here. And then there's a publisher of this. She wrote under the name of, she wrote for a publishing company, Stratmeyer Syndicate. Stratmeyer Syndicate was the founder of Edward Stratmeyer. He was a publishing company, and he published these books, the Hardy Boys, the Tom Swift series, the Bobbsey Twins, and the Nancy Drew. And here he is. So I thought it'd be fun to sketch these. And Mildred here. I think I'll sketch her this morning. And then as I read the book, the Nancy Drew fictional town where she grew up in was a fictional town of River Heights, I believe, Illinois. And the story here takes place in Maine, and it's a fictional town, I believe, but they say that it's based off of this other town, which is, let me go to the history. History. It's a Gunquit, Maine. Gunquit, Maine. Guide to gun, and so it's kind of a seaside resort town. And I thought maybe I would, instead of a Gunquit, I thought I would put Chandleton, which is in here. They think that this town here, I've been reading about it just generally. I can't show all the information, but the town, the fictional town in here was based off of this town, and it talks about them driving along the seashore. And I thought it would be fun to do some sea scenes in there and fishing cottages, and they talk about artists, you know, a kind of little art community there. And in the book, they talk about, they drive by and they see these people outside painting, some plein air painters. But I think I'm going to draw Mildred here. So let's go back to Mildred, if I can. Yeah, I have to go to history. There she is. Mildred Wirt Benson. She wrote under the pseudonym of Carolyn Keeney, which is right here, Carolyn Keeney. And I think she wrote several of the books, like 23 or 24 of them. And this book has a copyright of 1946. And I think she was born in 1927, so she would have written this in her 20s or mid-20s. So I think I'm going to start out drawing her. Maybe I'll zoom in. I'm going to draw her with pencil first. And let me look at chat here. Top chat. Live chat. I'm only going for about an hour more. Dee Dee comes on at 7:30 my time, 8:30 Eastern. So I can't do a lot of art today. I thought I'd play in my art journal a little, but I don't know if I'll get to it if I do this. We'll call this an art journal. As I read this book, I'm going to try to illustrate scenes in here. Like they talk about a cave, and they talk about bells that have jewels encrusted in it. I thought it would be fun to do some sort of a bell that has jewels on it. Just kind of illustrate the story, and I'll call it an art journal. I don't want to tear the spine up or anything, but yet I do want to illustrate. Be fun to do. It'll be fun to do. The arms will be attached on the outside. So I can go ahead and stuff it, stitch up those arm. I left the armhole spaces on the doll itself where you would insert the arm. I left those blank because I wasn't sure. I didn't stitch them closed. So I can go ahead and stitch those closed, stuff the arms, and then the arm will be attached to. Okay, that makes sense. Hi, Teresa. Oh, you're an inspiration to me, lady. Good morning. Raul says, listening and drawing a baby monkey hanging on a tree and a frog like a lily pad. Oh, on a lily, not like a lily pad, a frog on a lily pad. If you haven't seen Raul's, I think you did a short the other day that I really liked. If you haven't seen Raul's drawings, and I think most of you have, I say, Raul, you have a style. You have, when I'm scrolling through my videos, I'm going, that looks like Raul. And sure enough, it was. Raul says, I draw between 12 and 45 shorts daily. Oh, Raul, that's a lot of work. Keeps you in practice, huh? Thank you, Arlene, for dropping a link to his channel. My style is, oh, I can't pronounce that. Shibi, Kawaii, and Picasso styled. I adore Raul's drawings, Arlene says. Yeah, you do a good job of it. Arlene says, I get books and read them and then keep them instead. Yeah, I've been buying too many books. This book originally belonged to a lady in Lincoln, Nebraska, probably as a young girl. But I'm going to leave that alone. It's written in pencil. She's probably an older lady by now. And I like the silhouettes here. I like these silhouettes. Of course, they got a silhouette on the cover. And what they have in the back, same thing. And got some places I could journal or draw on here. And it ends right there, the end. So it's an easy read. It's written for younger girls, maybe in the teen years. But you know what? I like these easy reads. And if I go in and learn about Maine and the authors and all of that, I'm making good use of it. I'm sure I read the Nancy Drew books when I was younger. I just don't remember them all. Let's see how that looks on camera. I think that's pretty good. Let me tip it a little. Oops. Let's see how it looks. Pretty good. So I'm going to draw her here. I'm going to draw her in pencil first. I usually don't draw in pencil, and looks like I got a piece of Scotch tape here. They mended this with a piece of Scotch tape. So maybe I'll come down. Well, no, maybe I won't. It's going over the Scotch tape. The Scotch tape is older. Oh, let's get a sense of her head. And she's looking down, kind of. Her arms, her hands are coming here. I'm just going to get a sense of her. Her hands are coming here, and her head is resting in her hands. Right there. And so she's kind of looking down. Like that. And then her glasses are right in here. And we'll just kind of put her eyeglasses there. And you can see on this picture, more of her side of her face shows here than it does over here. You can kind of see her ear, a little bit of her ear here. And this is where her hair starts in here. And this is her, I think in the 19th, let's read the details here. Half shot of Mildred Benson. The original publication unknown. There's a source. Use of article. No free. Not replaceable with free media. Commercial application, small size. This photograph is copyrighted and it's not under a free license. Oh, I thought it was in the public domain. Uh-oh. I don't know if I can draw from this. I think I may be able to, though. I don't think anybody's going to complain if it's in my journal. Author or copyright owner is unknown. So how can they say it's under copyright? It is believed that the use of this article, in the article Mildred Benson, to provide visual identification of one or more specific individuals of high esteem. Qualifies as fair use under the United States copyright law. So I think I'm okay. Any other uses of this image may be copyrighted infringement. So, but it says here that it qualifies as fair use. So I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay just to sketch her here. Probably won't look like her anyway. Let's expand her. I always like to check that out. I always like to check it out. Let's see, she's got a pretty high forehead here. Her forehead is higher than what I have it. Comes up to here. So I erase this. And then she's got gray hair here, gray curly hair in here. She's got a lot of curls. And then kind of comes down, let's see. She's got her arms here, her hand here. See her eyeglasses right in here. And they kind of slant down a little. Like that. A little bit of a eyeglass like that. This one needs to be out more. And this one needs to be smaller. Well, her face comes in here down this way. Whew, I'm warm. I wish my brother, he's so stubborn. Turned on the air conditioner, but it's turned on high, so it's still warm in here. I mean, what's the use of having a central air if you don't have air? I don't know. Sometimes he's stubborn. And he won't help me with the yard work. But yesterday I was out walking around the yard and I see where he went out and he cut down a lot of my stuff that I would have kept. Oh, can't do anything about it now because it's gone. But he sure did manage to cut that stuff down. I don't know. Sometimes he irritates me. Sometimes he irritates me. And he likes to buy that microwavable, or not microwave, it's pre-cooked bacon. It's already cooked. He likes to eat it. He gave me some money to get him some. And gosh, they were selling it for $10 for a package of 10 strips of not even 6-inch strips of bacon, and there were 6 of them in there, or 10 of them in there, and they wanted $10 for the package. And I'm going, that's $1 for a strip of bacon. I'm not going to get it. So I bought an off-brand. I bought an off-brand that I paid a little over $3 for. And I showed it to him, and he said, well, it's not going to be as good, but I'll try it. And I'm going, you pay $10 for a package of bacon? That's highway robbery. I don't know. He's a good brother, but sometimes he irritates me. Sometimes he irritates me. Sometimes I just got to vent. All right, so her curls don't start until over here, and her nose isn't quite so pointy there. And it's kind of pointy, but it's, and she's got a smile here. If I can get her smiling. This is what I'm sketching in pencil this morning, so if I make a mistake, I can erase it. And then she's got some, this is her, a picture of her in her elderly years. And this is her eyebrow up here, and her eyeglasses are more defined. And she's got some lines under her eyes, and of course it's dark in there. And I went to Dollar Tree to see if they'd gotten double-sided tape in, and they didn't. And the clerk, when I checked out, said, did you find everything you wanted? And I said, no. I said, I've been coming here to get to see if you're ever going to stock the 2-sided tape. And I was explaining to him what I wanted, and the manager came out. The lady that was the manager of the day, I guess, because she was a different manager than what the other day was. And I told her what I wanted. And she told me to go on the website. And I told her I used to have the Dollar Tree app. But I got so spammed on it that I deleted it. And I was telling her that. I said, all I got from there was spam. And she said, well, I've never heard of that. And I'm going, well, it was a mobile app. And she says, oh, that's why. And I'm going, And she told me, I was hoping, she said, oh, we'll get you some. We'll order some for you and bring it in. And no, she told me to go order it off of the website. No. I think her nose is a little bit longer, but not quite so pointy. Maybe. And she's got this smile coming down this way. I don't have her smile in yet. And let's put these eyeglasses in here. And her face comes down a little more like that. And her chin rests under here. And she said, do you have a computer? She said, just go order it off of the website. Well, bless her heart, Laura sent me 6 packages, but I'm bugging them about getting double-sided tape, and they've got 3 hanging hooks of those pop dots. And I don't want pop dots. And probably have so many because they aren't selling. All right, so her hand just comes like this, and it rests underneath of her arm like that. It's kind of got that little bumpy right in here, right there. It looks like she has a watch on. A watch. And it looks like it has, it has that hook for the strap in here. And the strap kind of goes around her wrist. Something like that. And I guess this has to come down a little more. More like that. And then her shoulder, this is part of her arm in here, her finger, and her shoulder comes out this way. And of course, this is all shady in here. I usually don't draw in pencil because it fades so much, but I just feel more comfortable doing this one now. This hand, her ear kind of comes down like that, and you can kind of see now. Let's erase all this. Her ear comes down in here. So her hand, and there's a fingernail there. So her hand starts in here, and it kind of comes down the side of her face, and there's shading going on in here. And you don't see much of her hand. You just see parts of it. This is dark. That's the watch. It's kind of got a band here. And then her coat. And this is her shoulder up in here. And her coat comes down, kind of makes some. And then her other hand. I'm not so good at hands. I try. Keep practicing. What you're not good at, just keep trying. This other little finger is hidden in here. And then she has kind of a knuckle area in here. And then it comes down that way. Let's come up a little further. And then it comes down this way. And you can see her knuckles here. And then you can kind of see some veining going on in her arms. And then she's got a coat on, which comes clear over. Actually, this sleeve meets that watch. So this needs to come up a little more. Like that, which means this needs to be adjusted. I'm not that great with hands. All right, so the sleeve comes this way, comes down here. It almost touches this other sleeve. And has all these and then her shoulder, her ear is right in here. And her hair comes down to there. Her shoulder comes up over this way. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't have her lips in there yet. Define her ear a little bit more in here. And she's got wispy hair coming down. Her nose can be a little longer than that. She's got a longer nose. And her smile. Going on under here. She's got some shading going on up in here with some lines. And then this part of her forehead is There's got kind of a bag under her eyes in here. Alrighty. I think her face is not quite what I wanted in here. All right, now what I want to do is take my Sharpie. What time is it? 6:56. I'm only going until 7:30 because Dee Dee comes on this morning and Becky's going to come on later this morning at 12 Eastern, 10 Central. I'm looking for a Sharpie pen. This one might work. That's my Molotow. Yeah. I got a box of those Sharpies. I need to get them out. And I found some more Pen Plus gears at Walmart yesterday. I was delighted. I was delighted. There's a Sharpie. Now, the Sharpie might soak through a little. I'll try not to. I don't know if the Molotow will. Then I want to define this a little bit more in here. Her eyeglasses. Not too bad. All right. She's got an eyebrow above her face here. Just barely see it. Above her eye here. Kind of in there now. Make her eye a little darker in here. And then she's got all these smile lines that I really haven't. There. I don't trust pencil to be, you know, a pencil drawing will eventually fade away unless you put fixative on it. And of course, these knuckles here, you can see she's an older lady, so her skin is, I like to say, paper thin. And I'd have to really work on those hands. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? And, you know, it's going to take some work to get that well defined. Because there's a lot of veining going on in there. A lot of shadow up in here. Their knuckle areas. And then her jacket here comes this way, and it looks like she might have a black top on or something under here, because these two hands just about meet, and then it gets really dark in here under her chin. And yeah, look at this area here. She's got a definite line there. And this is all shady. Really, it's a tan color. But look at this area here. How you got just a little bit of red, and then you got these lines coming down like this. And look at her forehead area up here. She's got these smile lines coming across her forehead. And these smile lines coming down this way. And then you can see the pink tones under her eyes here. Of course, I don't have pink. And then she's got shading coming down that way. And her lips, oh, her mouth. How am I ever going to do all those teeth without making them look like pumpkins? If you study that, and if you look at it, they kind of look like pumpkin teeth in a way. And then she's got shading going on here. Yeah. Yeah, goofing that real good. Pencil. Not exactly what I want, but and then her nose, she's got shading down this way, coming in that way. A little bit of shading going on there. And in here, and then under her nose. Not perfect, but not that bad either. I think her nose might be bigger than I have it, but I'm still learning on the noses. Now, let's study this area in here. Give her some shadow going on up. Lots of hair, lots of curls in her hair. Lots of lines. Shading going on in here. And then over here, her ear comes down in here. You can just barely see a little bit of it. Then she's got hair, and this is her top. And this hand here. And there's a lot of shading going on in here. And her coat, you can kind of see the shoulder here. And it has these arm. Her watch is in here. See, I rubbed this out with my hand. That's why I don't like pencil so much. You have to have a fixative on it. She's got a watch band on. Comes up this way. And it has some lines in it. Let's go back over here to her hair. Let's see what it looks like over there. Am I? No, I'm okay. Her eyes, I think, are smaller than I have them here, but I don't want to mess them up too much. Kind of a rounder, more roundish. And her coat has all these folds in it there. And then this area in here is mostly dark. Her arm comes out this way because she's resting it on a table. Let's put a book in there. Now, what I want to do, let's do just a little bit more. What time is it? It's 11 after. Dee Dee will be on in a little bit. And her hair in here is real wispy. Just a little out this way. Not too bad. Let me grab. These are Tim Holtz Distress watercolor pencils. I want to grab a maroonish color. Maybe in here. I haven't even opened this package yet. I can get it open. I got these on sale at, can't remember her name. I can see her icon, but I can't remember her name. I think it's Candace Olson. I'm not totally sure. I'm going to keep that. And I'm not going to put any water on it, but this has seedless preserves, kind of a dark red and a vintage photo. Let me see if I can get this open. And it's got a tray here. Wow. Let's try. Let's try. It looks like it's orange up here, but it barn door. It almost looks orange to me. But my lighting isn't that great. I want to put a little bit of color in here. And a little bit of color there. Some color on her lips in here. And her hands are not, I don't see a lot of color in there. What I see is all this beautiful goings on in here. All of this. Now let's get out the vintage photo. Some color on her face. Now, I'm not going to take a sopping wet brush. I'm going to put water on my brush and I'm going to just blend. I don't want my page so wet that it's going to wrinkle. I'm kind of happy with that. Now, whoops. I have one. Thought it went in here. Which one did it go in? This one. I'm going to have to play with these more. I don't want to put a lot of color on that page because I don't want it to wrinkle. But I want to play with these distress watercolors a little bit more. Not this morning. I'm going to write on this. I'm going to sign it here. And today is 6/14/23. 2023. And this is a sketch of Mildred Benson. I think it's, I'm going to put Mildred W. Benson. Who wrote under the pen name, I'm going to call it a pen name rather than a pseudonym, pen name of Carolyn Keeney. She wrote several of the Nancy Drew mysteries. And let's go back one here and find out more about her. This is on Wikipedia. She was born in 1905 to 2022. So I'm going to put 1905 to 2002. I would have liked to known her. 2002 was 2002. Where was I? I was in Indiana, I think, in 2002. She was a writer and a journalist. She graduated from the University of Iowa. Notable works was Nancy Drew. Notable awards was the Agatha Christie Award. Her spouse was Asa Wirt, W-I-R-T, and it doesn't have a link to him. And George Benson. She had two spouses, and she had one child, and it doesn't talk about, let's see what it says about her early life. She was born in Iowa Oh, her father was a doctor. She earned her degree in English from the University of Iowa in 1925 in 3 years. She returned to the university in 1927 and became the first student there to earn a master's degree in journalism. Let's see what it says about her personal life. She married Asa Wirt, a correspondent for the Associated Press. They had a daughter, Margaret Peggyworth, who was born in 1936, following a long illness. And then she married George Benson, her editor at the Toledo Blade newspaper. He was known as a great adventurer. Doesn't have a link to him, though. Witnessing archaeological excavations and visiting Mayan sites. After the death of her second husband, she obtained her pilot license and continued flying for several years. So she was also a pilot. She died in Toledo at the age of 96 on May 28th. And then it gives references. It talks about the Stratemeyer Syndicate, which I'm going to do another sketch in here. Let's see. Edward Stratemeyer. I want to do a sketch of him, but not this morning. I want to do a sketch of him. So I'm going to put sketched from a reference photo at Wikipedia, at Wiki. And I think I'll leave it just like that. It's not perfect, but you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going for perfection. If I was going for perfection, I'd probably do this 20 million times and study it a lot more. I think I got a fairly good likeness of her. And I want to do, as I read this book, like I got her now as the author, and then I'm going to do Stratemeyer here, Edward Stratemeyer. I'm going to do him, Edward L. Stratemeyer, and he's the publisher of these books. And then as I read the book, I don't know if I can do a likeness of Nancy Drew, but it says a gust of wind blew her golden hair across her eyes. So I can certainly get kind of a lady with gold hair blowing in her eyes on here. And I can kind of illustrate this in a way. I might have to do some of these out of the book and then copy them over. But that's kind of how I want to do this. Alter this book without collaging and painting and just a few. See, I can kind of get a picture of Nancy Drew right there of how they visualized her. But yeah, I think I got a pretty good likeness of her. So I did my haul this morning, and I showed the doll. I want to see what Becky does with her rag doll. Part 2. I want to see how she puts her rag doll together and dresses it. And I haven't decided how I'm going to do my rag doll, what kind of a character I want out of her. But I'm working on that. Let's give her some arms here. And I'm working out in the garden. I got to get those begonias planted. And I think it's going to be an okay day today. I don't see rain predicted. And my doll is kind of tall too. My doll has long legs. Let me get back over to chat and look at chat before we go here. I got out of my chat. Let me refresh chat. Come on. Hi, Kitty Jen. So it's kind of interesting reading a book that's really meant for teen girls. As you're older, you realize, oh, hey, you know, you look at it from a different perspective. Let's bring that doll's head down a little bit more. Let's fold her arms like this. We'll use this as my thumbnail and take this needle out, put it down here off of the view. I got my doll basted together. I'll have to machine stitch it, but I want to see how Becky did hers. And of course, my camera's crooked again. My book is straight. Get up there a little bit more, a little higher. My book is straight, but my camera's crooked. So this way. I'll move my book crooked to match my camera. There. So that will probably be my thumbnail. Let's see. Kitty Jen said, yeah, it would have been cool to have known her. Yeah, and I was in 2002, I was certainly old enough to have met her, but now she passed away at the age of 96, I think. So she would have been an older lady. She died in Toledo, Ohio. She married an editor of a newspaper in Toledo, Ohio. Nancy Drew books were fun to read. Yes, they were, Kitty. And she says, hi. Raul says, Meri, will you be streaming tomorrow too? Yes, I will, Raul. I've changed my time temporarily to 6 o'clock in the morning instead of 4:30. I'm finding that I do better if I have time to wake up and have coffee. I have my devotions. I take care of things. I still get up at 4. Like I was up at 3 this morning. But I don't know, when I rush to I'm not comfortable when I rush to get going. What time is it? Am I have time to talk to you guys a little more? Got 2 minutes here before Becky comes on. Arlene had to leave. Becky says, goodbye, Arlene. Becky, don't miss Becky after Dee Dee Willingham comes on in 2 minutes. Just Google Dee Dee Willingham and DEDE Willingham. And then Becky's going to do part 2 at noon Eastern, Aunt Beck's creations of her rag doll. And I missed it last week, so I kind of want to watch it this week. Let's see, who else did I miss? Raul's here. Becky says bye to Arlene. Arlene says Meri is drawing the author of her book. I was not paying attention, but I heard Keene, I think. Yeah, Keene, Keene, was the married name of my aunt, my dad's sister. And I met both of them when I was younger. And Harold Keene was a postman. He delivered mail, and he's the one that got my younger brother into the post office, convinced him. Oh, there's Barbara, Chicken Pot Pie Society. If you're still out there, Barbara, thanks for popping in. And Arlene dropped, if you scroll up, a link to Dee Dee's channel. Arlene had to leave and go do some adult stuff. Oh, there's Roy. I've missed you coming in, Roy, if you're out there. He said, I used to do some life drawing in college, and the years after life's responsibilities derailed that. Well, you might think it looks easy, but I can see all the mistakes in there. But it's still fun to do. It's not a perfect portrait by any means, but it's my sketch, and I'm going to work the book like that. So my chat just went off. I think Dee Dee's coming on, so I'm going to wish you all a good day. I will come on tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. This is Wednesday. I forget all who's coming on Wednesday because things have changed. Chaz is going to do a schedule, and I'm hoping to get a link to wherever she puts that. So of all the streams, so that I can be better. I'll look at that so I can be better at announcing who's coming on. Have a great day, everybody. Go out and enjoy it. Enjoy today while it's today. We don't live in yesterday, Becky says. Bye.